What's good? We back at it again with the Workman podcast. Got me, Elgin Woodside here. Got my co-host, Christian Marshall. And we got our special guest for today, Derrick Bienemy. Let's go. Let's get it.
That boy Bezos was good.
If you guys don't know, Derrick is our counterpart over at Tuskegee. He was in the engineering department with us. Every step of the way, we used to study, pull all nighters together, pass tests together, you feel me, hang out. He actually was one of the first entrepreneurs I ever met at Tuskegee, handling his business. I'm gonna let him introduce himself and give his introduction to you guys. Go ahead, man. I know you got some things you want to say, man.
Derrick Bienemy, currently in Tennessee, working at Y12 National Security Complex, and I'm a nuclear engineer there. Facility safety engineer. It's not too bad, and I'm also working on getting my detailing business back started off here. So there's a few things going on right now.
Yes, sir. Yeah, whenever Derrick was at Tuskegee, he was doing mechanical engineering, also ran a full business as a car detailer. I used to go there and get my car detailed. A lot of people on the baseball team used to go, and as well as just, random students there too. So Derrick is like the epitome of just hustle, grind it out, get out the mud, you feel me, not taking no for an answer and like doing for self. And he definitely is a motivation to me and Christian. So yeah. Man, let's go ahead and get to it.
But before we get into that, just like what's when it came to your mobile detailing business, bro, go into a little bit of depth about that though. Like why, like how did that get started, and go a little bit to like why you started that, at the time that you started, and why you thought it was a good time at that time. You feel what I'm saying? Just because there may be other people on listening and stuff like that that may be in college or whatever and trying to figure out what they want to be able to do and what they can get into. So just kind of go down the list of like how that got started and stuff like that.
I always did have a love for cars since I can remember since a child, and I was washing cars in high school or in middle school. I started off washing like my parents and stuff cars. Then we moved to a new neighborhood, and I started a mobile detailing business. Well, it wasn't so much mobile as I developed a relationship with my neighbors, and I used to cut their lawns. And then eventually I went to washing their cars as well. So they just drive their car to my lot or to my house. My parents would let me use the hose. They was like, as long as you're not getting in trouble, you out here, you have a business going, you want to do something for yourself. So they let me use the hose. I had my products, and I went from there. So fast forward to college, I didn't really have much money, so I was kind of just brainstorming the things that I can do, and I was like, I have a love for washing cars. I used to wash my car every weekend, and I was like, they go hand in hand. I need a little money. I have a hobby that I can turn into a business, so I went from there, and from there I started off washing some of my friends' cars, and then from there I got into washing some of the professors at school cars. Professors at school, their cars. I wanted to get to the president, but I didn't quite make it there. But from the amount of maintenance people, from the amount of professors, peers, friends, I'm satisfied with the way my business transpired from just being a hobby to during college.
Yeah, that's amazing, bro. Like just being able to balance, school and having a full-blown business as far as like managing, working with professors, students, and then trying to get all the materials, bro. Like that's really just pure hustle. Like
it was tough.
Made something out of nothing. Like
man. At times I used to watch cars in between classes. As long as I had enough time, if I had 2 hours or more, I was watching cars in between classes for sure.
Yeah. See, stuff like that take discipline, like just accountability. Like you said you was gonna watch that person car at this time, you know, you found a way, you found a window, and you executed on it. You feel me? And then people compensate people who execute. You feel me? So, yeah, I love it, bro. But yeah, man, let's go ahead and roll into this thing. So today we talking about discipline. I think last week, me and Christian, we just went over our goals for 2022, spoke them into existence, wrote them out, and committed to them. But I think the thing that a lot of people miss is taking that goal and actually having a plan, you know, to execute on it in a way that you're gonna be consistent and disciplined to actually see it all the way through. And that's why about 90% of people don't actually achieve the goals that they set out for at the beginning of the year. You know, we say we want to work out, and then we, you know, we don't go to the gym anymore. We go for the first couple of weeks, and then we kind of burn out. Or we say that we want to save, do better at saving money. You know, we do well the first month, and then one of our friends called us, is like, hey, you trying to hit the bar? Boom, you like going back into the old habits. So it's just like redefining yourself, reinventing yourself to become the person that you want to be, you know, at the end of the road. So you have to already be that person and be in that, you know, that state of action, you know, to transition to that. So that's what we're going to talk about today, bro. So like, I'm gonna just start off by asking y'all, like, what is discipline like mean to y'all, and like, what kind of goals y'all got, and what's y'all plan to execute on them?
So for me, I think discipline is really just how to really define it. It's not really one word, but I think discipline is really just being able to have a plan and execute. So like you said, planned execution, right? Because I feel like people get misconstrued between the difference between discipline and motivation. You know what I'm saying? And not realizing that the motivation is just what gets the kickstart. That's just the ignition, right? You just turn the car on, but you gotta be able to have the gas, have the engine to keep going. You feel what I'm saying? So that discipline is what's going to keep the car running, along with the oil, the gas, and everything else. So discipline is just being able to execute your plan, like regardless of how you feel, because that's the plan that you had set up. You see what I'm saying? So being able to be disciplined, it just comes with a lot of focus. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be able to tap into yourself and into your why to continue your discipline, right? And even if, you know, there's a lot of distractions out here in the world and stuff like that, but as long as you have that plan, right, you'll always be able to refer to that plan and continue to be able to execute. You know what I'm saying? And as long as you have it written out, right, I feel that's what a lot of people get messed up at is not having that plan. Like they have the goal, they might have a little bit of motivation in the beginning, but they don't have like the steps that need to be taken to actually get to that goal that they need to have. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, it's just very different from motivation, but just being disciplined, just executing no matter how you feel. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're tired, whether you know, you just don't feel like it that day or whatever, just being able to stick to the plan. You did. Yeah. What about you, D?
I'd say discipline to me is similar to what you said, but I look at it as a mindset, like having a goal, but also being so focused that you don't allow yourself to get off track. That's you know, that's a simple way to put it, but getting more in depth is like once you have your mindset on whatever it is that you say, you have to have that plan, and then within that plan, there's going to be deterrence from you doing that. Whether it's like for me, I want to start my business, but I know if I don't have a plan from plan A to plan C, or step A to step Z, what I need to do, then I'll be easily deterred from getting it started. So within that, I have to have my mindset. It's kind of like tunnel vision, but it's kind of like you just put on blinders. You don't let anything kind of deter you from doing what you want to do. So once you get locked in mentally, I don't think there's anything that can
I feel that, bro. Cause like right now, me and Derrick, we doing the 75 hard program, and like that is a whole nother level of discipline, bro. Like we gotta work out twice a day. We gotta stick to our diet. What else? We gotta read 10 pages a day. No alcohol, no cheat meals. What else? They got something else on there. Oh yeah, you gotta drink a gallon of water every day. So it's like
And one of
just
those exercises, one of those workouts has to be outside.
Right. It gotta be outdoors. And we all know it's cold outside now. Like so, and we only on the first like week and a half or like first week for real. So like imagine how it's gonna be, once January hit and we gotta tell ourselves like it's 30 degrees, but we didn't do our outside workout yet. And we gotta go out there and either go for like a high speed walk, do some pull-ups, push-ups, do some jumping jacks, or do a hit workout or something like that. So it's like just putting yourself like in uncomfortable situations and being okay with, just saying no to other things that come up. Like just because somebody has a party coming up, that doesn't give you an excuse to not do what you said you was gonna do for yourself. Like just because it's Christmas time don't mean that you gotta eat that piece of ham if you already told yourself I'm not eating pork no more. Like it's just taking accountability for your own actions and stop putting it on other people. Like instead of like the situation, letting the situation, dictate the way that you're gonna act. You are in control of your mind. You're in control of your actions and every single thing that you do. So like just detaching from the traditional like way of doing things and really like saying this is the way I'm moving. No matter what somebody say, like even if you go to a wedding, it's like you ain't got to drink at the wedding. You could just chill. You feel me? Like. So, right.
And that requires a whole different level of discipline, bro. Like being able to have something in front of you and just knowing like it's there and you really want that. And you got to sit there and tell yourself no and like be able to tell yourself like, nah, I'm good because I'm sticking to this plan that I said I had. I said I was going to do this. I'm not doing it anymore. You know what I'm saying? For whatever, even if it's for a period of time or whether it's not at all, we're going cold turkey. You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
but
like,
I feel
think about like the confidence you build like once you like say no to something like for the first time that you always succumb to though. Like
right.
when somebody like, hey, you want a beer? And you just say nah, like because I'm choosing not to. You feel me?
Exactly.
But like deep down inside, you might have that urge to be like, yeah, but you told yourself that you wasn't gonna drink no more or like for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So don't do it. And then like you start losing respect for yourself when you constantly like when somebody be like, hey, you want beer? It's like, yeah, I'll take one. And then like as you're drinking it, you got that subconscious feeling in your gut. It's like, dang, like here I go again. And then that's when you start losing your motivation and your self-respect, bro.
Right. That's why I always feel like it's good to like.
Brings it.
No, I'm saying, go ahead.
I was gonna say that kind of stems from what I was saying, like where you have to be locked. It's a mindset to be disciplined because if you take two people who are on two different journeys or at two different points in their life, one person is saying that, oh, I want to work out, and you're trying to convince the other person, like, man, you should work out, you feel good, you got to change your diet and this and that. Unless that other person has it locked into their mental that they want to work out, change their life for the better, and do et cetera, it's not gonna work. They could halfway do it, and then they'll be easily deterred because they weren't locked in mentally. So like you really have to have that mindset of being disciplined. That's something that you really want to do before you pursue it, because if not, it'll take the slightest thing for you to get thrown off track, and then you end up, as well.
That's why I feel like detox is another form of discipline. That's why I always encourage people to detox, maybe even if it's just once a month, right? Because and no matter what the detox is, like detoxing doesn't have to be in health, right? Detoxing just means removing something from your life, right, for a certain period of time. So detox, you can detox yourself mentally. Like, okay, I'm not going to be on social media for the next 30 days. Right, you're detoxifying your mind from all the things that you see on the timeline every single day. You know what I'm saying? You can say I'm not going to eat meat for the next 30 days because you want to be able to and start incorporating more fruits and more vegetables into your diet. right? And let all that other waste out and clean your colon out a little bit more. But that still requires an amount of discipline. And that's like where the building block is at, I feel like. You know, when it comes to that, like when it comes to detoxing, I feel like that leads into then detoxing in other areas of your life too. And then also being able to execute on your goals, because you still have to have a plan of execution. How I'm going to do this? What is the detox? What's the goal? How am I going to do it? How much water am I going to drink a day? What am I going to eat? How much of it am I going to eat? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So that still requires a plan that you got to execute. But that's like on the lowest level. You feel me? Before, and that's just like I said, like the building block to maybe the even bigger goals in your life. But you got to start somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. Like it could be the smallest thing. Like I'm just not gonna listen to rap music today. Like just for one day, you know, like just to see if I have different thoughts, you know, because like any little thing that is entered through your ears, like it affects you, like whether you know it or not. Some people like it's harmless, bro. It's just music. Like I know, you know, that everything they're saying not true. That, but like regardless of what it is, like anything that you put into your body or your mind is gonna come out in some way, shape, or form. Like either it's in the way that you speak, the way that you act, the way that you carry yourself, the way that you project your energy on the other people. Like people can tell what you consume by the way that you treat them or by the way that you speak or like, you know, interact. You feel me? So all that stuff matter, bro.
So what's the difference between like we're in New Year, right? And people have these resolutions and these goals and stuff like that. So what's the difference between like having goals and then really having a execution plan like we're talking about? Because some people may think that the goals, like automatically the goal is the plan, right? Because I set this goal,
Right.
now I'm gonna just go do
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying? But you know, let's kind of talk about that. Like Derrick, you know what I'm saying? Like what, like I'm pretty sure with your business, right? Let's say for your business, for instance, you had a goal that you want to start it, but what was the plan that you had to build up to actually start it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Or if there was a certain amount of money that you wanted to get, like what was the plan for, you know what I'm saying, doing it like that, executing and building that business like you wanted to?
Yeah, the plan for me was figuring out every single thing that I need to just start the business, the legal way, of course. So that stems from the van, the license, um, the permits, the equipment, and etc. So my first thing to do was to write down everything that I needed to get that business going to where I can walk outside, get in the van, and drive to a client or a customer's home and wash their car properly. So I know my goal was, hey, I want to start my business again. I want to get my business up and running again. But my plan was writing down everything that I need for a business, and not only just to get the business going, but to have a successful business. Because I can have a van, but only have 50% of the equipment that I need. So if a customer wants me to wash their car and then they double back and like, hey, can you do my seats as well? If I don't have the necessary equipment that I need to do every every task related to detailing the car, then I won't have a successful business. So my goal is to have the business up and running. So my plan is from step one to step whatever, having that written out and having a mental note of everything that I need to do.
Okay. So basically it's like you set your overall grand scheme goal, right? And then you reverse engineer that final destination, which is a successful business, and like kind of think
Yeah,
about the process in your head and be like, all right, what's the first thing they're gonna want? Or how they gonna find me? I need to get a social media page, or I need to be posting on this or that, or I need to go out and talk to this many people. And then I need to make sure when they like reach out to me, I have the equipment to actually do the job. So what equipment do I need?
right.
I need, you know, a vacuum. I need some soap. I need rags. I need bucket. I need boom. I need access to water. So like you like, all right, where do I have to stage the cars to get the water? So like you start reverse engineering, putting the pieces together, write it all out. Now you got your location, you got your marketing strategy, you got all the equipment you need, and now you ready to actually take action on your goal. It's not just saying I want this and I'm just have to figure it out. Like, nah, you reverse engineer the process. Okay.
And I remember
Yeah,
you even had business cards when you was in school, right? You had business cards, you had flyers and stuff, all that stuff, right? So you thought about all those things like early on, and I remember seeing you out there almost every day. Like you was watching somebody go. So I'm like, oh yeah, he out there making his bread because he followed the plan. You know what I'm saying? He got it started how he wanted to get it started. Did.
And a big question a lot of people ask is like, well, not me, but just in general, when they want to start something, it's like, where do I start? How I think about it is you kind of have to put a stake in the ground with your current knowledge. So you start with what you know. So bringing it back to my detailing business, I know that I have to have equipment. I can go forward or I can go back from there. So going back is like, okay, how am I going to get the equipment around? What equipment do I need? Where am I going to set it up at? But going forward, it'll be like, okay, I have the equipment. Now what? I need a van. I need permits. I need a license. I need clients. So you can kind of start from what you know, and then you need to go back and go forward. But I think over time, you'll eventually figure out, from what you started, you'll eventually figure out that entire list.
I like it.
All right, and then from that plan, you kind of use that as like your checks and balances or like your checklist for your progress. Like, okay, I want you writing it down, right? So, okay, I got this equipment. Okay, I got all my equipment now. All right, bing. So I got all my equipment now. So now what I need to do? Okay, so now where I'm gonna set up at? Let me go see now what's some different locations where I can go set up at to make it successful. Do I have water access where I'm gonna want to set it up at? Is it gonna be easy for people to get in and out? Am I gonna be able to have people park multiple cars in the location while they wait to get their car washed? Stuff like that. So, but it's like without that plan, you won't even have that checklist to even manage your progress to see exactly where you're at. And I think that's where a lot of people get kind of getting messed up at, as far as these their goals and how to execute on them and how to really achieve what they need. You feel what I'm saying? Like even for me, like I realized I need to get back in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Going into the new year, but I'm like, I gotta really be intentional. So it's really about the intention. Like what I need to really be intentional what I want to do. So with that intention, I'm like, okay, I can't just do this. I can't just write out my workout the day before every night no more. Like if I'm really gonna do this, I need to do this full force. Let me go ahead and write out the whole month. Okay, let me break it down into groups. What am I working on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? So that way there's no excuse for me to say it there and be like, oh, I didn't figure it out, or I woke up late, so I got to try and figure out what I need to do, whatever the case may be. Now it's like, okay, I got all my workouts for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever muscle group I want to work. I got that written out. Okay, what workouts am I going to do? How many sets? How many reps? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So that way I'm able to execute. Now I'm not sitting there going to the gym and looking at all this equipment like, okay, what I'm going to do now? What I'm going to do next? Right? Or like, oh yeah, I'm just doing the basic. I'm gonna go squat. I'm gonna do bench press. But what I'm gonna do after that? Like, and that comes with your goal. You know what I'm saying? How you want to see your body perform and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? With the change and the transition that I want to see. You know what I'm saying? So my goal is to have a 6-pack in 6 months or by July 31st. I put a timeline on it. Dead stamp, July 31st. I'm gonna have that. So I'm gonna do this month by month. So that way, because it takes a lot of effort to try and write out a whole 6-month plan. So let me just do it month by month. So that way I know I'm tackling it each month. Because I know enough about working out since I've been an athlete about how to work out and what to do. So let me just put that knowledge in there. And then also let me look up the nutrition. You see what I'm saying? And what that's going to look like. So, like you said, but then from there, I can track my progress. Okay, week 1, I'm doing this. Okay, did I do everything I said I was going to do week 1? Oh yeah, I did. I worked out Monday through Friday for the first week. Damn, that's even hard for some people to do right there. Just working out 5 days a week. You feel what I'm saying? But because I had a plan, it makes it easier, and then I can go in and execute with ease now. And just don't deter from the plan at that point. Like, you said you're gonna do this, just do this thing, get in and get out. Boom. You know what I'm saying? You gotta kind of do it like that. And I feel like that's what helps with us stay aligned with our progress, I think.
So like, what do you tell the person you know, because you have a process, you know, that you have written out that you sticking to. Like, what do you tell the person who, you know, like once they get to that first week, they don't bust their, you know, they bust their ass every day and got to the end of the week and it's like they look at their body and they're like, oh man, like how do you keep that person from getting discouraged and like not, you know, going back to the, you know, the easy, comfortable habits that we already like have ingrained in our DNA, like to just go back to, it's like, what if it's just like, it's not worth the reward to them, you know, by the end of the week, it's like, dang, like the amount of work I put in ain't really putting out the result I want, you know, like how you get that person to stay consistent for that long and just wait it out.
I think it's just have to be a
I think you
constant
have to
reminder.
kind
Oh,
of.
go ahead. Go ahead. You got it, D.
Oh, well, I was thinking that you have to. It's a lifestyle. Getting healthy, exercising, and eating right. It's not like a diet. Oh, I'm going to diet for this month. Or I'm going to diet for this week. It has to be a lifestyle. And once you get that in your mind that it's not temporary, that I'm not just working out for this month, I'm not just working out for this week, you won't, the results are going to come. But you just have to kind of get it in your mind that I'm not doing this just to look good. I'm doing this to live good. I think that's the biggest thing. Once you realize that working out and eating and being healthy overall, it's not there's no time frame on that. It's a lifestyle. I think I think that's when they'll stop
So
looking for
that's
those
the,
immediate
okay.
results and be okay and understand that the results are going to come over time.
Okay.
I think I'd also have to point out, like, I agree with that too. Right away, you got to remind them as a lifestyle, but also saying, like, I like the saying that Rome wasn't built overnight, or Rome wasn't built in a day. So it's like, think about the most extravagant things that are here in this world, like even the Empire State Building, all these other just grand structures, stuff like that. None of that was built overnight. You know, people don't get these millions of dollars and get this success overnight. You know, and also realize when it comes to working out, like you got to realize everybody's body is different. So it's like those results that you may want to see, you know, you have to make that. I feel like you have to make that person realize that, you know, your results are going to come, and that you can't stop until you see those until you see those results, because you know they're not going to come overnight, because this is a lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? And
Yep.
being able to identify that and let them know that, I feel like is what's going to help them be that, is what's going to be consistent. They have to let them know that it's a choice, just like everything we do in life is a choice. Like you have to choose that this is the steps that you're going to take moving forward, so that you can see a better life. You know what I'm saying? And have better health. And you're going to overall, how you treat your body is going to how you treat everything else. Right. So if you're consistent with your body, like that person may have, goals outside of just their health and their physical body. But, you know, having to realize that if you can do this, you can do anything. You know what I'm saying? If you can treat your body right, if you can be consistent with your body and your mind right here and just focusing on that, you can do anything you want to do. And then your wealth is going to multiply automatically, because you put the discipline and work in right now to make sure your health is good, so that you can see the wealth. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why I think that that's a constant reminder that you got to kind of remind not only other people, but also yourself. You got to remind yourself that every time, like, this is what I'm doing it for. Because it'd be harder. It's hard for me sometimes. Like, damn, I got to go up and I got to get up and do this again. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. Yeah. You still hear me, Christian?
yeah.
Yeah. I'll be honest. So I got going back to being healthy and being physically fit. So back in May of 2021, I hurt my back. At that moment, I was kind of like the lightest, or I had just accomplished my goal, like within that week of where I wanted to look, and my weight got hurt, and I can't even lie, bro. I was destroyed, and I had a vacation coming up 2 months later, so I was like, yeah, I just hit my goal. I'm feeling how I want to feel for the vacation, and that injury it lingered on through the vacation, so I couldn't enjoy my vacation. And then fast forward from May to November, I had to have surgery. So I went from working out just about every day. I went from eating how I was supposed to be eating. The injury had affected me mentally, so I had kind of just, laid back. I was eating fast food again. I was eating whatever I wanted to eat. I just kind of fell into this rut. So recently, after the surgery and after I was able to, walk on my own and get out and exercise again, I'm back from square one. But what I just said, I haven't been seeing results. So I had to kind of step back and think, this is a lifestyle. This is not, because I got hurt and then I gained a few pounds, I want to get back to looking how I want to look. Mm-hmm. Yeah, partly, but the main thing is realizing that this is still a lifestyle. It's getting back into eating healthy, working out every day, and being healthy for the long run. So it's not always easy, but once you have that in mind, like, this is forever. This is not just for the next week, the next 2 weeks, the next year, or whatever. I had to kind of remind myself, like, we're going to have ups and downs, but as long as we stay the course, we'll be all right. So that's kind of what I'm going through right now, to get back into working out, to eating healthy, and going from eating whatever I wanted, because, I was a little down, I was kind of sad and stuff because I got hurt, couldn't work out. Going from eating whatever I want to back eating clean and following a diet is not the easiest, but I got Elgin right here. I reach out to him whenever I'm feeling discouraged, or I feel like I'm about to go left, off track, and it's always good to have a support system. So I just want to thank you guys for always being there for me. Because, man, it's been a journey. This last year has been a journey.
Oh, yeah, you already know that, bro. That's what we're here for, and that's another thing that comes with the discipline and execution. I think when it comes to being disciplined, you can't always depend on yourself. Like, you got to have a team of people that you can reach out to, a group of people you can reach out to, even one person, like somebody other than yourself that you can reach out to that can basically understand, can basically understand what you're trying to achieve and is willing to, like, basically support you in your journey. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, us, we're all being you play football in high school, so we was all athletes at one point, right?
Yeah.
Actively. So we kind of understand what the kind of the mode it takes. So when it comes to reaching out to us, and I feel like that's a lot of people in our friend group for real, we understand the kind of discipline that kind of takes. So when it's when you're not feeling disciplined, it's you got to reach out to somebody who understands what I'm going through right now. Because we done dealt with injuries. We done dealt with, we done dealt with the mental, with the mental downfalls of just not feeling right, and then kind of letting that take over. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so it's almost like when you got injured, right? It almost it put you in a place where it was you know what? Fuck it. It is what it is. I feel like that's kind of where you was at. But you had to bounce back. It took a lot of discipline within your mind to kind of basically bounce back and get focused again. And just because you discipline and you're executing doesn't mean that you're not going to have downfalls throughout that process. Right. You know what I'm saying? But that's what the plan is for. You already achieved, you said, you already achieved your goals. So you already knew what the steps were to get to where you was at. So since you had already achieved that and had already had that plan written out or whatever, you kind of already knew what needed to be done again. So that's why it's always good to have a plan, the plan to execute, because when you do fall off, and if you do fall off, which will happen at certain points, it's always good to have a plan right now. So that way, when you kind of get deterred, you can always look back and be I'm supposed to be doing this right here. I haven't even executed how I'm supposed to. So I need to get back on that right now. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what helps keep you going. That's a part of the discipline. You did. So, Yeah, bro. I
Like,
think.
y'all ever notice, like, whenever you take care of your health, like everything else in your life just kind of come together?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, once you build that discipline with your diet, what you put in your body, like the world, like the universe just start like forming around you. And like things just opportunities start opening up. I don't know why it's like that, but it's like every time I go on like a fast or, like a strict or disciplined diet, it's like good things just happen. Like I don't I don't know how to explain it, bro.
Yeah.
I
I
think it's the
don't know what it
psychology
is.
behind it. I think because, like I said,
Yeah.
like with the health thing, you're inadvertently, like, or subconsciously creating that discipline.
Right.
So like when you have to be disciplined with your health, it's like that's your health, that's you as a person. So it's like when you're subconsciously doing it, it's like, oh, I can't eat this. Oh, I can't eat this. Oh, I'm not supposed to be doing this. So I'm gonna do this instead. Right. That kind of goes into your work ethic with everything else. Like,
You
oh
get
yeah,
used to making the
you,
right
you, you
decision.
get the right decisions, right? Subconsciously, because you had to do it with your health. And you know what it feels like to not feel good when you've been eating bad or just haven't worked out in forever or whatever. So now you've built that awareness of the difference between good and bad. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to those two levels of where you want to be at in your life, you feel me, from a health standpoint. So just like there's probably pitfalls that people have when it comes financially. Like, you know what it's like to when you've been saving a good amount of money and then when you spend a lot of money. You're like, bro, I know I shouldn't have spent all that money. Because I sat there and 6 months ago, I was sitting here just saving all this money and I was just investing all this money. You know what I'm saying? So there's discipline that has to, like, when it comes from health, it translates across all the other aspects of life, I think. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, bro. But like, Derrick, I appreciate you sharing that for real, because like that took a lot of, heart and just transparency, like just to say how you felt, like what you was going through. Because I think that's gonna help a lot of people. Because I feel like a lot of people go through that battle, but they feel like they can't really talk to nobody about it because they feel like they're alone and they struggle. You feel me? But we all got our own thing that that we fail at. Something that we stick to and then we backslide on it. Like it's just really finding like a way to change your entire identity to say like I'm no longer like I'm not on a diet no more. Like I'm a healthy eater. Like I work out every day. Like that's just what I do. Like it's got to be some things that's just non-negotiable to you. Like I don't eat like sugary foods. I don't eat junk food. That's just like I'm allergic to seafood. I don't have the urge to eat seafood when I'm around it because I know I'm allergic to it. Like, but why is it hard for me to make a choice like when I go to Burger King or when I go drive past like, Wendy's or something? It's like, I really want a burger right now. Like, why can't I just change my mind to say, I don't eat burgers? Like, I'm allergic to that. Like, that's just, that doesn't go in my body. You feel me? Like really
right.
like drawing that line, like that same line. Cause I'm still alive and I never ate seafood in my life. So it's
Yep.
like, you can cut it out if you want to, but it's just like changing your identity and like saying, this is just something I don't do. You feel me?
I think that's gonna has to be something where it's like, and I agree with that, but I like that, like saying you like using that and that, like using that comparison, because once you think about it, our food, our body is allergic to certain food because our body does different things when certain foods are put in it, right? So it's like in a sense, it can be.
Wait. You gotta bring that back. You gotta bring that back. Because you said that too quick.
What I said was, in comparison to that, our bodies can technically be allergic to certain things because they have a reaction to different foods that we eat. So it can be a good reaction or it can be a bad reaction. See, once you start thinking about it like that, okay, if I eat Burger King every day, my body's gonna have a bad reaction. My skin's gonna start getting clogged. Like my skin's gonna get really oily. I'm gonna start breaking out because I'm eating nothing but greasy, oily foods. But like if I switch that up and say, hey, let me eat some more brown rice, let me eat some more vegetables, eat some more fruit throughout the day. Let me drink more water to to detoxify my blood and my skin. Then you're gonna start seeing good reactions. My skin starts to get clearer. My skin starts to get clearer. My colon gets a little cleaner. So now you start to see different reactions there, but it's like your body reacts to everything, just like it reacts to everything else, to the decisions we make. There's good reactions, bad reactions, good karma, bad karma. So you got to think about it like that. You know what I'm saying?
So we really are allergic to some of these foods that we eat.
Really, honestly, yeah. But like that, like just like having a seafood allergy. There are some people that have a major seafood allergy where you can't eat it at all, and you could really die. And there's people with a mild reaction where they could just probably pop some Benadryl and call it a day. You know what I'm saying, or something like that.
That's
So
why
like,
they give you the high blood pressure medicine, but you've been eating all these salty foods. You really been allergic to eating that much salt, so they're gonna give you the Benadryl, which is the high blood pressure pill.
yep.
You feel me, for all that salt that you've been intaking just to combat that. They just giving you a mild amount, so you don't even notice that you're allergic
Don't
to
even
eating
notice
that.
it. Exactly. Just like I'm gonna use a real life.
Oh, that's crazy.
I'm gonna use a real life example. Like my girl's vegan now, right? And because we live together, I'm not vegan, but some of her eating habits has rubbed off on me. So I eat a lot more fruits and vegetables and stuff. But honestly, because of that, once I started making that change, eating more fish, cutting out a lot of beef and pork. I still eat beef every now and again, but I don't eat a lot of pork. I barely eat pork now. But there's been a good reaction from me. I used to, when I was eating those things, especially early on, like high school, like adolescence, I would go to the doctor and I had borderline high blood pressure. As like as a 13, 14-year-old. Yeah. And I would get random nosebleeds on mine. And then I used to just get told like, yeah, your people used to, your daddy used to get nosebleeds like that, whatever. But then I realized, like, ever since I changed up my eating habits, drinking more water, actually being aware of those things, I haven't had a random nosebleed in forever because I stay hydrated. I drink a lot of water. I cut out all the fatty foods. I haven't had headaches. I used to get migraines because of all the salt and everything I was eating.
You was allergic, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And then
You was
so
having a reaction.
I had a bad reaction to those foods because I was eating too much of it. You feel what I'm saying?
But it's crazy because we don't even know until we really like force ourselves to change it. Like we have to monitor ourselves. Like we can't wait for somebody else to say you shouldn't be eating that, or like you shouldn't have access to this, because they're gonna give you access to the bad things, because ultimately we are the stewards of our own body. Nobody can manage this for us. We supposed to be the head of the temple. This is our temple. We can't expect the man who owned McDonald's to really care about our well-being. You feel me?
Exactly.
Or even people in our family, like who cooking, smothered pork chops every week and then want to cook it. Like we can't eat that every single week. Like you can have it like, every once a blue moon, but like consistently eating that, like it's gonna cause reactions in your body, bro. And you gotta be able to just say no. I think saying no is definitely probably the hardest part of like just being disciplined, knowing what to say no to.
Mm-hmm. Just like when I went back home, bro.
Question.
Yeah.
Yeah, going back home, it was rough. But
that's
I think to answer your question about why it's so easy to eat bad when you're when you haven't had a real allergic reaction versus knowing not to eat something because you have had a bad allergic reaction. I think it takes us back to Christian, which you first mentioned at the beginning of our conversation, being intentional.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of my goals as well for this year, being more intentional. Because if you know that something is bad for you and you're in that intentional mindset, you're not gonna rock with it. You're not gonna touch it, you're not gonna eat it, you're not gonna drink it. You know what I'm saying? If you say I want to be healthy, you have to be really intentional about being healthy, because it's sometimes it can get hard to establish the boundaries of what's healthy for me and what's not. You can eat a burger, but you gotta have it in moderation. You know that you can drink a fruit drink or a sugar drink or whatever, but you gotta have it in moderation. But when you're being intentional, you have to set those boundaries. So I think that's one of my most important goals this year is just to be more intentional about everything, not just health, making sure that I'm putting the right stuff in my body, making sure that I'm intentional about saving, my spending habits, making sure that I'm intentional about getting in the gym, making sure that, you know, I'm making sure that my relationship is prospering, and so many other things. You just have to be intentional. That's what I'm focusing on this year.
And that's all a part of discipline, bro. That's what it goes back to. You feel me? That's a part of once you have the intention, that makes your discipline a little bit easier. Like even when we talk about like outside of just health, like let's think about, you know, even relationships, right? Relationships with women, right? Like we as a culture, especially in society, we over sexualize women for real. You know what I'm saying? To the point where if you look at your Instagram feed, like I got to the point where you had to look at your Instagram feed and see what's really on your Instagram feed. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it wasn't until me, like I had to unfollow certain things. I'm like, that's all I'm seeing all down my timeline. You know what I'm saying? And so that that's all you're seeing, right? Especially if you committed to somebody, you're trying to be committed to somebody, you have to kind of you got to get rid of those things because you've seen it every single day. You feel what I'm saying? And then one thing I had noticed was when I did that, right? When I had did that, I wasn't even like thinking about it. Like I wasn't thinking about. I was focused on what I had to go do. I gotta go this. I gotta do A, B, C, and D. I'm not even worried about all the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I think that comes with the intention. Like you have to be intentional about what you want to do, as far as like what the results that you want to see. You know what I'm saying? And that's really just the overall importance of discipline. I think like overall with discipline, like it's something like discipline aligns with delayed gratification, right? Everybody wants the instant gratification right then and there. Like everybody wants to see that $10,000, $50,000, $1 million, whatever right then and there. Everybody want to have that 6-pack or whatever right then and there. You saw my timeline for the 6-pack was 6 months. You could do that in 6 months, but you have to be really dedicated. You heard me? But you can't, you know, but if you sit here and try to say you're going to get it in a month, that's not realistic, right? But it's all about, but that's the instant gratification that people want. And then once they don't get that instant gratification, they fall off. You feel what I'm saying? So I think a part of being disciplined is knowing that whatever goal you have and whatever you're trying to execute to, the gratification, you can't look for the instant gratification. You have to look for the delayed gratification. Even though like El said, there's somebody that didn't see that goes into that workout plan or starts working out, whatever, and don't see that stuff in the mirror, see them results in the mirror within the next 3-4 weeks, like keeping that delayed gratification in mind is just basically saying that I may not see it now, but I know it's coming sooner or later. It's as long as I continue to maintain and be consistent with what I'm doing. And then once I actually get it and being okay with that, right? Being okay with not having it right now because you want to enjoy the process or you have to enjoy the process. Because then once you get to the end of the road and then you finally see it, now it's like, now you're grateful and you have gratitude for all the work that you put in. Because guess what? If you would have got it in a month, if you would have got that $1 million, like we done known people that seen a whole lot of money come through their hand, but they done blew it because they didn't really work for it. Or, you know, just got laid in their lap and they didn't really know how to handle it. So like when people losing money, when people going through different things, like sometimes you take losses for a reason so you know what to do next time. You see what I'm saying? Which is why sometimes even with workout plans, sometimes we fall off because sometimes that's just a part of the process. You feel what I'm saying? And knowing what we feel like when we low and we feel like when we high. You feel what I'm saying? If you don't have no idea of both of those instances or both of those positions, you know, on that spectrum, you know, you're going to think everything's supposed to be up here. When in reality, that's not really the case. Because it can be here or here, but it's just about how you're going to react and how you're going to move when you're in either location, whether you high or low. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's
bro.
Part of that.
Yeah, my camera went out, so but yeah, I had to put it on the charger.
I was wondering why I just saw the picture.
Yeah, I think I just went out. It's on the charger, but I don't think it's like kicking on. But yeah, bro, everything you're saying is facts, bro. Like it's really just a process. Like just because you fail one day, like nobody's perfect, bro. Like, but what you can't do is allow that failure to like bring you back to where you were. Because once you get back to, all the way back to week one, to the progress that you lost in week one, bro, you're gonna be so discouraged. You ain't even gonna want to restart the program no more. You
Yep.
feel me? Like if you mess up one day, bro, forgive yourself. Like do not hold on to it. Like it is okay. Because some people, like, they make that one bad decision that one day, and now it's like, you know what? I ain't perfect no more, so I might as well just, wild out now.
Right.
Like
Right.
I went out last week, so I ain't, I can't say I ain't go out for a year, so I might as well just go turn up. You feel like, no, like you made one bad decision. You feel me? That's not who you are though, because just because you make a bad choice, that don't make you a bad person. You feel me?
Facts. It's all
So
about the lessons that you learn. It's all about
exactly
how you bounce back. That's all that
how you respond to it.
how you respond to it. Yeah, exactly. How you respond to it. Like that's why you just got to be okay with failure. You got to be okay with going through the process, and just knowing that discipline is not something that happens overnight. You have to develop the discipline. So that's why you're gonna go through the highs and the lows. You feel what I'm saying? You got to go through developing that because it takes like I said, an amount of effort and choices that you have to make on a daily basis in order to develop that discipline. And like you said, everybody not perfect. So if everybody not perfect, you got to know at some point when you do make a mistake, or if you do make a mistake, that it's okay because you know that everybody not perfect. But it's like what your intentions are, and that goes back to being intentional. Even though I make this mistake, these are my intentions. I'm going to make sure that I do what I said I was going to do. You know what I'm saying? Even though I made this mistake. You feel me? And that's what helps keep you aligned with the path that you're trying to follow and the path that you're trying to stay on. You feel what I'm saying? So it's definitely a process that I feel like all of us are still trying to really master. Right. You know what I'm saying? And really trying to get a hold of, like, and it's a roller coaster sometimes. You feel me? But as long as you know where you're trying to go and you always put in the effort to get there, I feel like everything will always happen when it's supposed to happen. Your course is not the next person. Your destination is not the next person. Everybody's destination is unique. Everybody's path and journey is unique. So, you may start on this workout, this health journey, the same time somebody else does. You might have knew them a couple years ago, and now you see this person, all looking all healthy, living their best life, all this stuff. But that doesn't mean that it can't happen for you. It's just not your time. That means there's something that you still have to learn to get to that point. And that's a part of developing the discipline too. Just knowing that because you're not there yet, there's something that still needs to be worked on. So as long as you're always open and being willing to say, hey, I'm not here yet because there's something else I still need to work on. I need to figure it out. And once you figure it out, you're going to be good. And even if you figure that thing out, there may be something else that you didn't really see before because you was focused on that one thing that you had, on that one thing that you realized was a part of that process, right? Because we don't really know until it's like a baby steps. You don't really know what all pieces fit into the puzzle until you try one piece. Oh, that bit don't work. We'll put this piece back. Oh, let me try this piece. Oh, this piece worked. So what goes to this piece? So you trying different pieces to make the whole puzzle come together. You feel what I'm saying? But if that was the case, as far as like putting the puzzle together, you'd be able to solve a puzzle in 5 minutes. And every piece you put in there, where's it going to fit? Every single time you grab the piece and put it and connected it. You see what I'm saying? But it takes time to solve a puzzle. You feel what I'm saying? Life is a big puzzle. You're trying to find the pieces and put them together to get the whole picture. You did? Yep. So
I love it, bro.
That's a caption right there.
So, like, what would you say somebody should do? I guess, like, closing, like we about to close out. Like, what would you tell somebody who's struggling with discipline? Like, what should be their first thing to do to kind of like build that muscle? Like, should it be, try something uncomfortable? Should it be, I don't know, get an accountability partner? Like, what would you say is the first thing you need to do?
I think the first thing you can do as far as developing the discipline is figure out your why. Like, why am I doing this? What am I doing this for? Right? Once you figure out why you're doing this, why you're on this journey in the first place, you're gonna always have something to go back to when things get a little tough. You gotta remember, because you always gotta remember why you're doing it to get to the how you're gonna do it. You feel what I'm saying? And then from there, now you have to not only hold yourself accountable, but find out who can also hold you accountable. Because there's gonna be days when you can't hold yourself accountable, or you're not gonna hold yourself accountable because you might have might not just be struggling with this one thing, this one journey, but you might have other things going on, family, relationship, whatever. All those different factors play into when we talk about life. You see what I'm saying? So I think that you have to really be able to find somebody who's gonna help hold you accountable. And that doesn't mean like, okay, it could start out to be something like, oh yeah, we call each other this day every week, checking on each other. You know what I'm saying? But then it gets to a point where you have to develop those relationships good enough to a point where when I do talk to you, you tell me you're going through something, then I can hold you accountable right then and there. And then the flip switch. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like, because everybody got their own life stuff going on. So you can expect somebody to sit there and babysit you every single day or every single Thursday of the week. But if I do call you, out the blue, or if I do text we have to develop that relationship enough for you to tell me what's going on, and then I can still hold you accountable and tell you, look, this is what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? And then you receive that. Mm-hmm. And then from there, it's like, okay, then I feel like once you get that, once you figure out your why, once you get that accountability, then that's really just the basis and the foundation of which you need to start the discipline. You feel what I'm saying? Because you're always gonna have to go back to those two things, the accountability and the why, to be able to hold yourself accountable for being disciplined and continue your journey. You did. I think that's one thing that I always have to end up going to, because I might call you, I might call Derrick or something, be like, yeah, bro, I'm going through this. And y'all might not even know I was going through it like 2-3 months ago or something like that. But then that might be the moment where it's your moment to hold me accountable. Like, hey, I know you're going through this, but you made for this and you can do this, but you have to do X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you should meet now by basically saying like the next time we talk, you're gonna be good. But in my head, I'm like, I know the next time we talk, you shouldn't be in the same place because I sat here and held you accountable. And if you are, then we got a problem, and we have to address it. We have to figure out what's really going on. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. I like it, bro. I think everything you said is on point, but I would add, do something that you are unfamiliar with, like something brand new. Like just do a brand new program, do a brand new, diet, do a brand new workout regimen. Like, do something brand new that's hard, not necessarily like too hard, but like something that's difficult and it's gonna force you to really lock in, and have somebody like hold you accountable. You feel me? Like something that's gonna test you, because if you able to get past that, bro, you're gonna gain so much respect for yourself. You feel me?
Right.
And you're gonna start looking at yourself in a mirror different. You're gonna start walking different. Like whenever somebody come at you, like you're gonna start being able to realize when somebody giving you fluff versus when somebody really giving you some real, game or something that's gonna really improve your lifestyle. You start it becomes more apparent, I guess, like, and it's clear, but like whenever you constantly, in the same environment with the same mindset, doing the same things, routine tasks, you kind of get in this state where you like real robotic, and you kind of just, you go with anything, you just going with the flow instead of really directing your energy into where you want it to go. So I would say, like, just do something that's going to challenge you to become somebody, better than what you are.
Yeah, dog. I like that.
I would say understand that success loves consistency. So you are where you are right now because you are consistently something, whether you're in a good place or you're in a bad place. If you're in a good place, you were consistently good. You were consistently doing something that you were supposed to do. And if you're in a bad place, you may have been consistently, whether you knew it or not, consistently doing something, that was negatively impacting your life. So I would say understand that success loves consistency.
Oh yeah, I like that.
From there, you can develop your discipline.
I like it, bro.
Oh yeah, I like that. That was a good one, bro. That was hey,
Yeah.
you might have to put that on the shirt, dog.
Yeah, we gotta wrap that one up. That boy said success loves consistency. Ooh, okay, I like that. But yeah, man, I ain't got nothing else, bro. I think that was plenty, bro. I just kind of wanted to talk that out because I feel like that's gonna be the key to this year. The theme of the year is focus action. So
Yep.
that's gonna take discipline, in order to focus and consistently take action in the right direction. Not necessarily just movement, not busyness, but handling my business, not being busy, not having busyness. You feel me? You dig? So yeah.
Big facts, dog. And we appreciate you, bro, hopping on and you just being willing to hop on and just get some insight, bro. You know what I'm saying? We want to start the year off very differently. And I feel like you gave a lot of good insight. It's just been, it's me and Elle. We've been chopping it up for, we're doing that about 6, 7, 8 months now. Something like that.
Yeah.
So
I've been asking Elle, man.
Man, stop capping, bro.
Come stop playing, bro.
Stop capping. I'm really popping. How can I slip when I'm the one doing the mopping?
Boy, you're joking. Stop.
Y'all have a good night, man.